My name is David Buoscio with NTegrity Law. If you've just found out that you've been named the executor of someone's estate, first of all, take a deep breath. I know it seems overwhelming, but today we'll talk through exactly what the role involves, from your legal responsibilities to how to avoid common pitfalls. We here at NTegrity Law have, over the past 30 years, helped hundreds of families navigate probate in a way that is faithful, organized, and fair. Let's break down what you need to know as you step into this most important role. I've had many a client come into my office in a total panic, thinking that their role as executor is monumental and impossible, only to learn that with our guidance, it can be a satisfying and most rewarding experience. What exactly is the role of an executor in probate? Let me answer that for you now. An executor of a will is the person appointed in the will to manage and distribute the deceased person's assets according to the terms contained in the will. This is the formal definition, but in this video, we're going to go through exactly what that means in a step-by-step, clear, and concise manner. As a probate attorney with NTegrity Law, and one who's been working with probate courts in Illinois for over 30 years, I will help you navigate the probate system in a way that is faithful, organized, and fair. So what are the key responsibilities of an executor? If you're named executor in someone's will, once that person passes, once they die, you will be appointed officially by the Illinois Probate Court to act as the executor. This typically happens at the first hearing in the matter and is called the opening of the estate. The estate's opened, you will be officially appointed, and then your key responsibilities will begin. I know at first it might seem overwhelming, but let's walk you through exactly what your role involves. The executor is responsible for gathering the assets of the decedent, paying the debts and taxes, and then distributing what's left to the beneficiaries who inherit under the will. The executor has a fiduciary responsibility to the beneficiaries to preserve the assets of the estate and not to create waste. For instance, they, for example, work with the attorney for the estate to determine which debts are truly of the estate and must be paid, versus debts which die with the decedent and therefore need not be paid. If there is a house to sell, for example, you as the executor will want to get the best offer on the house, thereby ensuring that the beneficiaries will get maximum value. You as executor will also have to follow strict court deadlines, which I can help you with, such as dealing with the Illinois statutory 6-month claims period, filing of accountings, and getting ready to close out the estate. Again, all of which I will advise you on and help you with as we go along. There are common misconceptions about being an executor, and let me clear those up right now. Many people think that an executor is merely symbolic, but it is a real legal role with duties that can take months or even years, depending on the size and the complexity of the estate. But again, don't worry, because we can guide you through the process and advise you every step of the way. As an executor should be organized right from the beginning. So how do we stay organized? I would suggest strongly that you, from the beginning, create a checklist about what needs to be done, what has been done, and what you can expect. And this would be a good time to write down any questions that you would have for me as your attorney as you get started and as you're newly appointed. As the executor, you will want to keep detailed records. For example, you will need to create a list of the assets and debts of the estate, gather bank statements, credit card bills, and other expenses so that you can easily access them as we move through the process. So just what is the legal process? Once you are appointed as the executor, you will be issued what are called letters of office, which give you the legal right to access the decedent's accounts and assets. You can gather the checking accounts, savings accounts, and other bank statements. If it's a house, as we mentioned, you will need to preserve that asset as well. Continue to pay for the mortgage, real estate taxes, and other expenses connected with the home to make sure you keep it out of foreclosure and preserve that asset. These expenses can be paid out of the estate. Keep in mind that you may need to sell the house and put the proceeds in an estate account to prevent any conflict. When do you seek advice from your attorney? There are certain situations where it is critical that you talk to me about legal advice, such as when you're dealing with out-of-state property, any beneficiary disputes, or any complex tax issues. An executor wants to avoid any personal liability And as an executor and fiduciary, you can become personally liable if, for instance, you mishandle funds, commingle them with your own monies, lie to the court, or if you forget or ignore deadlines. This is why guidance matters. You will need to be in communication with the beneficiaries throughout the process. The probate process in Illinois takes an average of 12 to 14 months from start to finish. So as you can see, your role as executor is an important role, but you need not worry, because here at Integrity Law, we'll help make it a rewarding one. After all, your deceased loved one chose you to carry out their last wishes, as they stated in the will, and the role of faith and integrity is important here. One last point I want to make is that being named executor is a great responsibility, but also a privilege to serve your loved one's legacy well. We at Integrity Law are here to help you carry out your role as executor with clarity, compassion, and confidence. So please schedule your free consultation today. Call us at 847-802-9912.